In the pockets and purses of Britons, 1983 marked a quiet but significant monetary revolution. It was the year the modern £1 coin, a small, thick, gold-colored disc, entered circulation, replacing the venerable, and by then increasingly problematic, £1 banknote. More than just a new piece of currency, the 1983 £1 coin was a symbol of economic pragmatism, a nod to Britain's ancient heraldic history, and the beginning of a numismatic legacy that would last for over 3 decades. Its story is one of interesting design choices, practical necessity, and a unique place in the nation's coinage. The primary driver behind the coin's introduction was simple economics. The £1 note, first issued in a contemporary form in 1978, had a short lifespan of only about 9 months before becoming worn and tatty. The cost of constantly replacing these degraded notes was becoming unsustainable for the Royal Mint. A coin, by contrast, offered a much longer lifespan, estimated at up to 40 years, making it a far more cost-effective proposition. Furthermore, the global trend was shifting towards high-value coinage, with other European nations like France and Italy already successfully using £1 equivalent coins. The UK government, under Margaret Thatcher, saw the change as a way to modernize the currency and cut public spending, despite some public sentimentality for the familiar paper note. The design of the 1983 pound coin was meticulously chosen to convey stability and heritage. Its most striking feature, which earned it the immediate nickname the round pound, was its distinctive reverse design. Created by the renowned sculptor Eric Sewell, it depicted a royal coronet above the value £1, flanked by 4 distinct floral emblems representing the 4 nations of the United Kingdom: the English rose, the Scottish thistle, the Welsh leek, and the Northern Irish shamrock. This design, known as the Royal Arms, was a powerful, unifying symbol for the entire kingdom on its new, robust currency. The obverse featured the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machine, which was used on British coinage from 1968 to 1984. Beyond its immediate design, the 1983 pound coin holds several fascinating points of interest for collectors and historians. Firstly, the year 1983 is unique, as it was the only year this original Royal Arms design was minted for general circulation. From 1984 onwards, the Mint began a series of reverse designs, featuring different national emblems each year, such as the English oak, the Scottish lion rampant, etc., making the 1983 coin the sole representative of its kind. This relative scarcity, though millions were minted, makes it a key date for collectors. Secondly, a notable and highly sought-after error exists from this inaugural year. A small number of coins were struck on obsolete halfpenny blanks, which are smaller and thicker. These mule or error coins are extremely rare and can be worth thousands of pounds to collectors, a stark contrast to the face value of a standard 1983 pound coin, which is now only worth its weight in nostalgia following its demonetization in 2017. The coin's introduction was not without controversy. Many of the public disliked its weight and the way it made pockets feel heavier. Charities also reported an initial drop in donations, as people were more reluctant to part with coins than notes, a phenomenon sometimes called the round pound effect. Nevertheless, the coin was quickly accepted and became a workhorse of the UK economy for 34 years. In conclusion, the 1983 £1 coin is far more than a demonetized relic. It is a tangible piece of social and economic history, born from fiscal necessity and designed with national unity in mind. As the first of its kind, it broke with the tradition of the pound note and set a new standard for British currency. Its unique status as a one-year-only design and the existence of rare minting errors ensure its continued fascination for numismatists. The humble 1983 round pound was not just a coin for change. It was the change itself, a small but mighty herald of a new chapter in the story of British money. The value of a £1 1983 British coin depends on several factors such as quality and wear, supply and demand, rarity, finish, and more. The 1983 Queen Elizabeth II £1 coin from Great Britain is a rare collector's item featuring a proof-like finish. This circulated coin holds historical significance, as it was minted in the United Kingdom during Queen Elizabeth II's reign. The coin is a valuable piece of British numismatic history, certified by PCGS, making it a coveted addition to any collection of English currency. The current value of 1983 £1 coin is second portrait. Actual error coin £142 50 pence. 1983 £1 Royal Arms, NGC-MS, 65, Great Britain, £48 50. 1983 Queen Elizabeth II £1 coin rare, proof-like, GB £5,551 50. 1983 Great Britain £1 Elizabeth II, second portrait, Royal Arms, MS 62, NGC £44 50 pence. Introduced in 1983 as a bold response to forgery and a modernizing force in British currency, the £1 coin is now a piece of history itself, having been demonetized and replaced by the bimetallic £1 in 2017. Within this series, the 1984 £1 coin holds a particularly fascinating place. It is not merely a piece of spent currency, but a numismatic bridge, a common coin from a pivotal year that encapsulates the design ethos, political climate, and a quiet controversy of its time. The very existence of the £1 coin was revolutionary. It was introduced to replace the £1 banknote, which the Royal Treasury argued had a short lifespan and was increasingly vulnerable to sophisticated counterfeiting. The new coin, with its distinctive gold color, derived from a nickel-brass alloy and unusual 12-sided shape, was a practical and durable successor. The shape, a nod to the old 3-pence brass threepenny bit, was chosen not just for nostalgia but for its distinct feel, aiding the visually impaired. The 1984 issue, therefore, was part of the second wave of this new monetary standard, helping to cement its place in the public's purse and mind. The most compelling aspect of any modern British coin is its reverse, tails-side design, and the 1984 coin is a prime example. It features the second design in the initial series, representing Scotland. The design, created by the eminent engraver Leslie Durbin, depicts a majestic thistle encircled by the Scottish crown. This was part of a wider Home Nations series, where England, represented by the Royal Arms, first used in 1983, Wales, a leek, 1985, and Northern Ireland, a flax plant, 1986, each received their own emblem. The 1984 coin, with its elegant and symbolic thistle, is a testament to this numismatic representation of the United Kingdom's constituent countries, making it a key piece for collectors aiming to complete the set. However, the 1984 coin carries with it a subtle but significant historical anomaly related to this very design. A very small number of 1984 £1 coins were struck with the 1983 Royal Arms reverse die, intended for England. These mule coins are among the most famous and sought-after errors in modern British numismatics. A mule is created when obverse and reverse dies from different coin types are paired by mistake. For a brief period in 1984, it is believed that a 1983 reverse die, featuring the Royal Arms, was left in a press and used to strike coins with the 1984 date. These rare errors are a collector's dream, with some fetching thousands of pounds, transforming an otherwise common coin into a numismatic treasure and a tangible relic of a minting mishap. Beyond its design and errors, the 1984 coin is a pocket-sized time capsule from a specific moment in British history. The year 1984 was dominated by the miners' strike, a bitter industrial dispute that defined the era of Margaret Thatcher's government. The coins minted that year were the currency of that conflict, passing from the hands of miners on picket lines to those of police officers and government officials. It was also the year immortalized by George Orwell's dystopian novel, 1984, giving the date itself a cultural weight. While purely coincidental, holding a coin from that very year evokes a powerful sense of the historical landscape in which it circulated. In conclusion, the 1984 £1 coin is far more than a demonetized disc of metal. It is a symbol of a modernizing Britain, a beautiful representation of Scottish heritage within the Union, and a common issue that, through a minting error, produced one of the UK's most famous rarities. As a relic of the tumultuous mid-1980s, it carries the silent weight of history. For collectors and historians alike, it remains a perfect example of how even the most everyday object can, with time, reveal layers of art, politics, and fascinating human error. The value of the £1 Elizabeth II, 1984, coin from United Kingdom. Current value, £1 31 pence to £1 75 pence. Introduced in 1983 to replace the venerable £1 banknote, the round £1 coin was still a novelty in the pockets and purses of the British public by 1985. The 1985 £1 coin, therefore, occupies a fascinating space in British numismatic history. It is not a rare first-year issue, nor is it a final commemorative piece. Instead, it is a cornerstone specimen from the early life of a coin that would become a national icon for over 3 decades, representing a period of technological optimism and a quiet battle against forgery. The genesis of the pound coin lay in economics and pragmatism. The £1 banknote, particularly the Scottish version, had a lifespan of only 10 months, while a coin could last for 40 years. Chancellor Sir Geoffrey Howe announced the change in the 1981 budget, arguing that a coin would be more cost-effective and durable. When it entered circulation on 21 April 1983, the new coin was the world's first bimetallic coin to be struck for general circulation in modern times, a fact that underscores its innovative design. This bimetallic construction, with a nickel-brass outer ring and a copper-nickel inner disc, was a deliberate and sophisticated security feature, making it significantly harder to counterfeit than the paper note it superseded. The 1985 coin proudly carries the classic and emblematic Royal Coat of Arms reverse design. According to the Royal Mint, the reverse design of the 1985 £1 coin featured the national emblem of Wales, the leek, encircled by the royal diadem. It was the second in a series of 4 issued to represent the 4 constituent parts of the United Kingdom: Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and England. This design was issued again only once, in 1990. Wales was later represented by the dragon type of £1, the 2005 Menai Bridge £1 coin. The 2011 Cardiff £1 and the 2013 £1 with the floral emblem of Wales. The obverse, like all modern British coinage, bears the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, in this case, the third definitive portrait by Raphael Makhlouf. Makhlouf's rendering, used from 1985 to 1997, is noted for its idealized and youthful appearance, with the inscription DG Reg FD, standing for De Gratia Regina Fide Defensor, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. While over 109 million £1 coins were minted in 1985, making it a common date in general terms, it holds intrigue for collectors due to the presence of mint marks. 2 key variants distinguish the 1985 coin. The 1985 London, no mint mark. Coin, struck at the Royal Mint in London, These coins bear no identifying letter. They are the standard and most common variety. The 1985 LL coin. This is the interesting and more sought-after variety. To meet the massive public demand, the Royal Mint contracted the Royal Mint Limited, Llantrisant, in Wales, to strike a portion of the coinage. These coins can be identified by the small, incuse, engraved letters LL on the obverse, just to the right of the Queen's neck. While not extremely rare, the LL version is less common than its London-struck counterpart, and is a key item for collectors building a comprehensive series of the round pound. Beyond its mint marks, the 1985 coin is a time capsule of a pre-decimal design philosophy still lingering in a modern coin. Unlike the later, increasingly complex and thematic reverse designs on the round pound, the 1985 issue is stark, heraldic, and formal. It represents a coin designed for purpose first and artistry second, though it possesses a robust elegance. Furthermore, it serves as a tangible reminder of the public's initial skepticism. Many bemoaned the loss of the lightweight quid in their wallets, complaining that the new coin was too heavy and would weigh down their pockets. A sentiment that now seems ironic given the later introduction of the even heavier 12-sided £1 coin. In conclusion, the 1985 £1 coin is far more than just a piece of 1980s change. It is a symbol of economic modernization, a triumph of anti-counterfeiting technology for its time, and a stable workhorse in the nation's currency system. Its existence, particularly in its LL variant, provides a direct link to the industrial capacity of the Royal Mint in Wales. For historians and collectors, it represents a crucial early chapter in the 34-year story of the round pound, a coin that started as a controversial replacement but quickly cemented itself as a beloved and essential part of British daily life, paving the way for the even more secure currency that would follow. The value of a 1985 £1 coin graded by NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, varies based on its condition and market demand. Circulated condition, typically worth around £1 to £2. Uncirculated condition can range from £3 to £10 or more, depending on the specific grade. Proof coins. Special proof versions may fetch higher prices, often exceeding £20. Values fluctuate based on collector interest and market trends. In the pockets and purses of the British public, a quiet revolution occurred on April 21, 1983. The venerable £1 banknote, a paper fixture for over 150 years, was being replaced by a new, chunky coin. While the coin itself was not new in 1986, the £1 coin from that specific year holds a unique and fascinating position in British numismatic history, marking a period of transition, technological adaptation, and the beginning of a design legacy that would last for decades. The primary impetus for the coin's introduction was economic. The £1 banknote, first issued by the Bank of England in 1797, had become a victim of its own success. Its lifespan was short, and in an era of rising inflation, the cost of repeatedly printing and replacing worn-out notes became unsustainable. A coin, with its potential for a much longer circulation life of up to 40 years, promised significant savings for the Treasury. Furthermore, the proliferation of vending machines and automated transport systems necessitated a more durable and uniform high-value denomination. The 1986 coin belongs to the first series, often called the round pound, which was minted from 1983 until its demonetization in 2017. Its design was rich with symbolism. The reverse of the coin is a flax plant and royal diadem representing Northern Ireland. Around below, the value and denomination £1. The obverse side featured the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machine. This iconic effigy, with its graceful and timeless quality, was already familiar to the public from the pre-decimal coinage and the new decimal coins introduced in 1971. Its use on the £1 coin provided a sense of continuity and tradition amidst the change. So, what makes the 1986 coin specifically interesting to collectors and historians? First and foremost, 1986 was the final year the original, thicker version of the round pound was minted for general circulation. From 1984 onwards, a small but crucial design change was made. The edge inscription was changed from the Latin phrase dicis et tudamen, meaning an ornament and a safeguard, to the same phrase but with a full stop after tudamen. This phrase, originally from Virgil's Aeneid, was a boast about the coin's milled edge, which was initially introduced to prevent clipping, the fraudulent practice of shaving precious metal from the coin's circumference. The 1986 coin, therefore, represents the culmination of this initial design phase. Secondly, and most significantly from a collector's standpoint, is the existence of a rare and valuable error. In 1986, a very small number of £1 coins were struck on incorrect planchets, blanks, intended for the 20-pence coin. These mule coins are thinner, lighter, and have a different, smooth edge without any inscription. They are incredibly rare, with only a handful confirmed to exist. In 2021, one of these 1986 20-pence mule £1 coins sold at auction for a staggering £10,800, making it one of the most valuable modern British coins. For any owner of a 1986 pound coin, the first instinct is always to check the edge. A thrilling, if almost always fruitless, treasure hunt. Beyond the error, the 1986 coin is a tangible piece of social and economic history. It circulated through the boom of the late 1980s, the recession of the early 1990s, and the dawn of the new millennium. It was in the pockets of Britons during monumental events, from the fall of the Berlin Wall to the rise of the Internet. Each scratch and ding on a surviving 1986 coin is a testament to its 31-year journey through British life, from pub tills to children's piggy banks. In conclusion, the 1986 £1 coin is far more than just a piece of discontinued currency. It is a symbol of a modernizing Britain, a masterpiece of miniature design, and a key artifact in the nation's monetary history. While no longer legal tender, its legacy endures. It was the direct predecessor to the current 12-sided pound coin, introduced in 2017 to combat sophisticated counterfeiting. The 1986 coin, especially in its standard form, may not command a high price, but it remains a cherished and historically significant item. A small, round, metallic chronicle of its time, whose story is etched not only on its face, but in the very history it helped to transact. The value of a £1 1986 British coin depends on several factors such as quality and wear, supply and demand, rarity, finish, and more. Queen Elizabeth II £1 commemorative silver coin, 1986, certified by PCGS, $477.50. In the pockets and purses of the British public, a quiet revolution occurred in 1987. It was not marked by protest or fanfare, but by the distinctive heavy clink of a new coin, the £1 coin. Replacing the venerable paper £1 note, this new 12-sided piece of nickel brass was more than just a change of currency. It was a symbol of modernization, a response to economic pressures, and the beginning of a new chapter in British numismatic history. The 1987 £1 coin, therefore, holds a unique place as the inaugural issue of a coin that would become a staple of British life for decades. The decision to introduce a pound coin was born from practical necessity. The £1 banknote, first issued in its modern form in 1978, had a short lifespan of only 9 months. In an era of rising inflation, the cost of repeatedly replacing worn-out notes became unsustainable for the Royal Mint. A coin, by contrast, could last up to 40 years, offering significant long-term savings. Furthermore, the pound note was notoriously vulnerable to forgery. The advanced technology required to mint a coin presented a formidable barrier to counterfeiters, promising greater security for the currency. The government of the day, led by Margaret Thatcher, framed the change as a modernizing step, bringing Britain in line with other European nations that already had high-value circulating coins. The design of the new coin was a masterclass in combining tradition with innovation. Its most striking feature was its unique shape, an equilateral curve heptagon, or more commonly, a 12-sided coin. This was a deliberate and nostalgic nod to the historic threepenny bit, a similarly shaped coin that circulated until 1971, which evoked a sense of familiar British identity. The reverse, tails, design, created by the renowned sculptor Eric Sewell, was both elegant and symbolic. It depicted a royal coronet, a portcullis with chains, a symbol of the Palace of Westminster and Parliament, and a rose, thistle, leek, and shamrock, representing the four nations of the United Kingdom. This intricate design was surrounded by the edge inscription Decus et Tutamen, a Latin phrase meaning an ornament and a safeguard. This motto, previously found on earlier British coinage, was ironically apt. While it spoke to the ornamental nature of the coin's design, the secure, milled edge it described was originally intended to prevent clipping the edges off precious metal coins, and now served as a modern security feature. The obverse featured the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Raphael Makhlouf, which was used on all British coinage from 1985 to 1997. Makhlouf's depiction is known for its idealized and youthful representation, with the inscription Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1987. For the public, the transition was met with a mixture of curiosity and resistance. Many mourned the loss of the quid, a lightweight paper note that folded easily into a wallet. The new coin was heavy, and a pocketful of them could be cumbersome. Comedians joked about pound coin pocket bulge, and there were genuine concerns about the inconvenience. However, the coin quickly proved its utility in vending machines, parking meters, and shopping trolleys, seamlessly integrating into the mechanics of daily life. One of the most compelling aspects of the 1987 pound coin is its status as a round pound. This first edition, along with all those minted until 2016, was demonetized and ceased to be legal tender on October 15, 2017, following the introduction of the new, more secure bimetallic £1 coin. This makes the 1987 coin a piece of history, a collectible first edition from a series that is now concluded. While over 443 million were minted, making it common in uncirculated condition, a coin from 1987 in excellent preserved state is a tangible relic of that pivotal year. In conclusion, the 1987 £1 coin is far more than a mere piece of currency. It is an artifact of economic pragmatism, a symbol of a Britain navigating the late 20th century, and a beautifully designed object that bridged the nation's past and present. It fought inflation and forgery, irritated and then served the public, and ultimately earned its place as an iconic, if initially unwelcome, feature of British culture. As the first of its kind, the 1987 round pound stands as a small, 12-sided monument to a significant moment of change in the everyday life of a nation. The 1987 £1 coin typically has a face value of £1, but its market value can vary based on condition and demand. Circulated condition, generally worth face value £1. Uncirculated condition, can range from £2 to £5 or more, depending on the collector's market point. 1987. Great Britain £1 English oak. NGC MS 67 PL Mac. Solo finest grade 146 pounds, 50 pence. 1987 Great Britain 1 pound English Oak NGC PF 69 Ultra Cameo Mac. Spotless 52 pounds, 50 pence. The 1988 £1 coin holds a unique place in the history of British currency. Although it may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, it represents an important era in the United Kingdom's numismatic history, showcasing both national pride and the evolution of British coinage during the late 20th century. Introduced only 5 years after the first £1 coin entered circulation in 1983, the 1988 issue reflects the continuing effort to modernize British currency, while celebrating the heritage of the United Kingdom's constituent nations. The £1 coin was first introduced in 1983, replacing the £1 note, which was gradually withdrawn from circulation by 1988. The coin was part of a broader movement by the Royal Mint to issue more durable and practical forms of currency. Coins last much longer than paper notes, often decades compared to just a few years for notes, and were therefore considered a more economical choice. By 1988, the pound coin was already well established in everyday British life. Each year, the Royal Mint issued coins that celebrated a different part of the United Kingdom, rotating among England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. This was part of a design series intended to highlight the country's rich and diverse national symbols. The 1988 £1 coin specifically represented Northern Ireland. The reverse of the 1988 £1 was designed by a senior member of the Royal Mint's engraving department, Derek Gorringe. He chose to depict one of our nation's noblest heraldic emblems, the royal arms of Her Majesty the Queen, surmounted by the crown of St. Edward. Displayed in regal splendor on the obverse and perfectly complementing the royal arms on the reverse is Raphael Maklouf's masterly portrait of the Queen. The coin's edge inscription is in Latin, Decus et tuta men, which may be translated as an ornament to safeguard. Coins issued in 1988 circulated for 29 years until they were demonetized in 2017 and replaced with the current bimetallic £1 coin. On the obverse of the coin, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II appears, as designed by Raphael Maklouf. This version of her likeness, introduced in 1985, depicts the Queen wearing the royal diadem, a more regal and formal image than the earlier portraits. The inscription around the portrait reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg F D 1988, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The 1988 £1 coin was made of nickel brass, an alloy consisting of 70% copper, 24.5% zinc, and 5.5% nickel. It weighed 9.5 grams and measured 22.5 millimeters in diameter, with a distinctive milled edge that also featured an inscription. For the Northern Ireland coin, the edge inscription reads, Decus et tudamen, a Latin phrase meaning an ornament and a safeguard. This phrase has appeared on many British coins over the centuries, and originally served both a decorative and an anti-counterfeiting purpose. The 1988 £1 coin was part of the second series of £1 designs, which continued the theme of representing the different nations of the UK. Although the coin was issued for general circulation, many collectors seek the 1988 version today because of its detailed design and symbolic connection to Northern Ireland. The coin was minted at the Royal Mint's Llantrisant facility in South Wales, one of the most advanced minting centres in the world. Like other pound coins of the time, the 1988 version was withdrawn from circulation in 2017 when the new 12-sided pound coin was introduced. The new design featured enhanced security features to combat counterfeiting. The flax plant design was reused in 1999 when the Royal Mint reissued similar national designs as part of a new series. Although the 1988 £1 coin is no longer legal tender, it remains a beloved collectible piece of British history. It marks a period when the United Kingdom celebrated its internal diversity through coinage, using symbols and motifs that represented pride in local traditions. The 1988 Northern Ireland coin, with its elegant flax plant and classic Latin inscription, captures not only the artistic craftsmanship of the Royal Mint, but also the cultural richness of the United Kingdom. For collectors and historians alike, the 1988 £1 coin is more than just currency. It is a small metallic emblem of Britain's national identity, industrial heritage, and royal tradition during the late 20th century. The 1988 £1 coin typically holds a value of around £1 in circulation. However, its value can vary significantly based on condition and grading by professional services like NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. The 1988 Jersey Silver £1 Parish of the Trinity, NGC PF. 70 Ultra Cameo. Top Pop, worth £105. 1988. Great Britain. £1 Crowned Shield. NGC PF 68 Ultra Cameo, Max Spotless, worth £37, 50 pence. The 1989 £1 coin of the United Kingdom is a fascinating artifact of modern British numismatic history. Bearing the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on one side and the elegant design of the Scottish thistle on the other, this coin represents not only the strength and identity of Scotland, but also the unity of the nations within the United Kingdom. Although it was a small coin in everyday use, its history and design tell a much larger story about British heritage, currency reform, and national pride. The £1 coin was first introduced in 1983, replacing the £1 banknote, which had been costly to print and wore out too quickly in circulation. To celebrate the diversity of the United Kingdom, the Royal Mint introduced a series of designs that featured symbols representing England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Each year, a different nation was honored with a new emblem on the reverse of the coin. In 1989, the featured design represented Scotland. This was not the first Scottish design on the £1 coin. An earlier version had appeared in 1984, but the 1989 issue marked a return to the Scottish theme, showcasing a different and distinctive artistic interpretation of Scotland's national emblem. The reverse of the 1989 £1 coin features the Scottish thistle encircled by a royal diadem, crown, designed by Derek Gorringe. The thistle has been Scotland's national flower for centuries and is a symbol of resilience and pride. According to legend, an invading Norse army once tried to surprise a Scottish army at night, but one of the invaders stepped on a thistle and cried out in pain, alerting the Scots and saving them from defeat. Thus, the thistle became a symbol of protection and national spirit. The crown surrounding the thistle represents Scotland's royal heritage and its place within the United Kingdom. The combination of the thistle and crown beautifully blends national identity with loyalty to the crown and the monarchy. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklouf. This portrait, used on all UK coins between 1985 and 1997, shows the Queen wearing the George IV State diadem, a jeweled crown worn during the state opening of Parliament. The inscription around her image reads, "Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith." The 1989 £1 coin was made from nickel brass, consisting of 70% copper, 24.5% zinc, and 5.5% nickel. It weighed 9.5 grams and measured 22.5 millimeters in diameter. Its distinctive golden color made it stand out among other coins in circulation. The edge of the coin bears the Latin motto Nemo me impune lacessit, which translates to, "No one provokes me with impunity." This phrase has long been associated with the Order of the Thistle and reflects Scotland's fierce independence and determination. The Royal Mint produced approximately 31 million of the 1989 Scottish Thistle £1 coins for circulation. Despite this relatively high mintage, the coin is now considered collectible because it has been withdrawn from use. The end of the round pound. Like other £1 coins from that era, the 1989 version was demonetized in 2017 when the new 12-sided bimetallic pound coin was introduced to reduce counterfeiting. Millions of older coins were melted down, making well-preserved examples more valuable to collectors today. The Royal Mint's rotation of national designs, England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, between 1983 and 2008, helped promote cultural awareness and national pride across the UK. The 1989 Scottish Thistle coin is especially admired for its elegant and balanced design. The 1989 £1 coin with the Scottish Thistle stands as a symbol of Scotland's enduring identity within the United Kingdom and of Queen Elizabeth II's long reign. Its design reflects the careful craftsmanship and cultural thought that went into British coinage during the late 20th century. Though the round pound has since disappeared from circulation, coins like the 1989 issue remain cherished by collectors and history enthusiasts alike. More than just a piece of currency, this coin captures a moment in time, a tribute to Scotland, to the artistry of British minting, and to the reign of one of the most iconic monarchs in modern history. More than just a piece of currency, this coin captures a moment in time, a tribute to Scotland, to the artistry of British minting, and to the reign of one of the most iconic monarchs in modern history. The value of 1989. Great Britain, £1. Scottish. Thistle NGC, PF, 69, Ultra. Cameo Mac Finest. £67, 50, 1989. Silver £1. Scottish Thistle. Pete Fort. £1. Proof NGC, PR, 69, Britain, £68, 50, 1989. Silver £1. Scottish Thistle. Pete Fort, £1 proof, NGC PR, 69, Britain, £68, 51, Scottish Thistle. £1 proof coin, NGC PR 70, Britain £119, 2005, Great Britain £1 .925 silver proof, Pie Fort Menai Straits, PCGS, PR £68, £224 50 pence. The 1991 pound coin from England holds both historical and cultural significance as part of the United Kingdom's coinage system. Introduced during a period of national pride and modernization, this coin represents not only the country's economy, but also its deep-rooted traditions and regional identities. The £1 coin, first launched in 1983, replaced the £1 banknote to create a more durable and practical form of currency. By 1990, the coin had already become a familiar part of British life, yet each annual design continued to celebrate a unique aspect of the United Kingdom. The 1991 pound coin featured a design that represented England specifically. The reverse shows the leek and royal diadem representing Wales and was designed by Leslie Durbin. At center, a large leek plant within a royal diadem representing Wales. Around below, the value and denomination £1. The design was used in 1985 and 1990, symbolizing strength, endurance, and the long history of the English nation, and it is surrounded by the Latin inscription, Palladiol wef I'm Gwalad, which translates as, "True am I to my country." This phrase has appeared on British coins for centuries and refers to both the coin's beauty and its protection against forgery. The obverse side of the coin, as with all pound coins of the era, bore the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklouf. This version of the Queen's portrait, used from 1985 to 1997, showed her wearing the George IV State diadem, a jeweled crown often worn during official state occasions. The inclusion of this portrait helped maintain a sense of continuity and national pride across the coinage. By 1990, the £1 coin was still a relatively new part of the British currency system. It had been introduced only 7 years earlier as part of a major effort by the Royal Mint to modernize British money. The earlier £1 notes were fragile and had a short lifespan, while coins could circulate for decades. The pound coin's designs were part of a broader theme celebrating the different nations of the United Kingdom: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, with each year highlighting a different emblem. The 1990 issue was the second time an English design appeared on the £1 coin. The first English version, released in 1983, had featured the Royal Arms of England. The return to an English symbol in 1990 with the oak tree reflected the coin's rotating design schedule and reinforced the unity of the United Kingdom through its diverse national emblems. One fascinating fact about the 1991 pound coin is that it was minted at a time when the UK was undergoing economic and social change, moving toward greater integration with Europe while still maintaining strong national symbols. Additionally, this coin was made of nickel brass, giving it a distinctive golden color. Its composition, 70% copper, 24.5% zinc, and 5.5% nickel, made it both durable and resistant to wear. Another interesting aspect is that over time, counterfeit £1 coins became a growing problem in the UK. By the early 2000s, it was estimated that as many as 3% of all £1 coins in circulation were fake. This issue eventually led to the introduction of a completely redesigned 12-sided £1 coin in 2017, incorporating advanced security features. As a result, coins like the 1990 version are now considered part of numismatic history and are often collected for their design and historical value. Although the 1991 pound coin is no longer in circulation today, it remains an important piece of British numismatic history. It reflects a time when national identity and craftsmanship were proudly displayed through everyday objects. The English oak design continues to be admired for its elegance and symbolism, representing both the strength and resilience of England itself. In conclusion, the 1991 pound coin is much more than a piece of metal. It is a snapshot of British heritage, artistry, and national pride. From its detailed design to its historical context, the coin tells the story of a nation balancing tradition with modernity, all within the small circle of its golden surface. The 1991 pound coin typically has a value ranging from £1 to £3 in circulated condition. However, its value can increase significantly based on its condition and grading by NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. Uncirculated condition, £5 to £10 or more. High-grade examples can exceed £20, depending on demand and rarity.